What's up, guys? Welcome to the shop. This is Brandon. Today I've got the JT Spectra Proshield. And you're probably asking why I'm doing a video on the Proshield, because that really hasn't been a cool mask in a long time. I think we all know the reason why, but the reason I'm doing this video is because if you're a ProFlex fan or a Flex 7 fan, you definitely owe a debt of gratitude to this particular mask, because without it there would be no Flex. But the mask itself debuted back in 1996 and is still running today, so that's 20 years of this mask being sold. But back then, prior to this mask being released, all of the masks before then were all like made out of MX goggles. They had the motocross frames with a tiny little face plate, and JT slapped some foam on the sides of it, called it a paintball mask. Well, in '96 when this debuted, the idea behind this mask was they wanted to build a mask from the ground up that was specific to paintball, and the Proshield was the product of that. Now, when JT Racing owned it, there was a lot wider of a color range as far as what parts were available for the Proshield, and I'll go through what I can, but keep in mind that this mask is only available in black and olive now, so all of these colored parts are rare or extremely expensive to try and track down. You have to track them down used. But up first we have the black, and this is exactly what it would look like if you were to buy one today, minus the strap, and the lens would be clear. Now when the mask first debuted, there was some holes that go up the nose here, and that was a lot of people refer to those as the sneeze hole Proshields. They also didn't have the hole for the hardware here, and came with the soft foam ears. But nowadays, you get the hard plastic here. Of course, this is hard plastic. As a matter of fact, if you look at from this line right here, goes all the way across, everything down on the Flex 7 or ProFlex is flexible, hence the name. As a matter of fact, I'll show you one here. This is the exact same thing, just flexible. But when Brass Eagle owned JT there for a very, very small time, they actually released a black one that had a sparkly finish to it, and I actually believe it had the Brass Eagle emblem on the goggles themselves, but it wasn't very popular. They didn't sell them for very long. But one of the colors that did kind of outlast everything, especially from the debut, was the olive. Now, I don't know one person that didn't own an olive Spectra. This thing, because back then all of the games were being played in the woods, so the olive is no-brainer when it came to the color. As a matter of fact, you could probably go in your uncle's attic and find one of these, because everybody had one back then. Now, as far as the other colors, there was the pink, blue, highlighter yellow, orange, and lime. They were all available from the catalog. Of course, the highlighter yellow was for refs, and if you notice, this thing is super yellow. It's very, very bright. As a matter of fact, if you were to put this mask on and take off running down the street at night, if you still get hit by a car, he was aiming for you, because I'm sure he saw you. This thing is extremely bright. As a matter of fact, the other bright color that they came out with was the pink, and this is probably one of the most sought after masks as far as Proshields go ever. I mean, this thing is really, really cool looking, and I'm not a pink guy, but definitely one of the coolest masks I own. Now, if you're trying to build a ProFlex or a Flex 7 using these ear plates, if you have an EPS pink, it doesn't match. The EPS has like a pearl kind of finish to it, and the color is just not quite there. It doesn't match really good. Now, however, if you have the HB pinks, I don't own any HBs, but if I had to say which ones that the pink ears would go with, it would be the HBs. The HBs are a little bit darker in color, but I still believe that these would probably match it pretty good, so there's always that. Now, the blue, I have to apologize to you guys because I don't own a blue faceplate, but I do own the blue hard ear plates. one really cool thing about the blue is that if you happen to own one of the Proflexes that they released back in 2005, I think the Proflexes actually came out in 2003, and then they released another set of colors in 2005. The blue that they released then actually matches the Proshield ears extremely well. I mean, this thing is gorgeous. So you want to build a cool Flex 7, blue Proshield ears, blue Proflex, bam, there you go. Now if you happen to own one of the Proflexes that had like the sparkle finish, much like the black that I was talking about earlier, I don't know if you can even see this, but it doesn't match as well. The Proflex with the sparkly finish is a little bit darker than the Proshield ears, but that's something you'll run into if you want to do that. Now, the orange and the lime, they're the only two color parts that didn't come with matching hard ears. Now, to track those down now, you're going to be paying a lot of money for. I think the last time I priced a lime, or someone was selling a lime, they wanted $400 for it, which is ridiculous, but whatever. The other colors that they happen to do parts in, they did a clear, and the clear was only it was actually exclusive to Team Ironman back in 1996 World Cup. If you watch that video, you'll actually only notice that a couple of players are actually wearing the clear Proshield bottoms, because back then they only wore the goggles. They didn't wear any other kind of protection whatsoever. But to get a clear now, just go ahead and be prepared to sign your car over to the guy selling it, because he's going to want a lot of money for them. The reason behind that is because they only made a very limited amount of them, and they were extremely brittle. So the ones that did survive to now, there's probably just a very small number of them still around. Now they did make a prototype color. It was like a silvery gray kind of a gunmetal kind of color. It was a prototype, so there wasn't very many of those made either. But because it was JT Racing, they no longer make any of the colors that I just showed you or talked to you about. So you will have to track all these colors down used. Definitely look at your BST pages on Facebook, your Craigslist. If you might be able to find some on Craigslist. And every once in a while you might find some on eBay. I doubt it, but definitely the BST pages on Facebook would probably be your best bet as far as tracking them down, the colored parts. And like I said, they're only available in black and olive now, but I do highly recommend this mask, especially if you're a newbie. Definitely try out the Proshield before you go out and buy a $90 Proflex, because the Proshield itself is like $46. So I mean, that's half the price of a Proflex. Not just that, but if you do decide that you want to stick with paintball and fix your mask up, there's always options with the either one. You can do whatever to either one, but definitely try the Proshield first. I really hope this helped clear up any questions for anybody. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the field.